What's up, YouTube? You know what time it is. It's Mighty Fan time, and I got a pickup video to share. And I have to start by saying that, in the last few videos, I said I was looking forward to a package coming in the mail, and I had, I had won 3 items on eBay on Labor Day weekend, and you saw the first 2 a few videos ago. And unfortunately, I got the latest one. It did come in the mail over the weekend, but it wasn't exactly legit. So I'm not gonna promote it. I'm not gonna promote it here. I don't want to promote fake. So yeah. I got taken on that one. I did. Normally what I'll do is look. I will say this. I'm not the biggest expert in the world as to, deciphering between the legit and fake, jerseys on eBay. Sometimes I can, particularly with the football throwbacks, if they're supposed to be heat pressed, name and numbers, and they're stitched, and they claim to be Mitchell and Ness. Yeah, those are fakes. But sometimes they aren't as easy. I mean, particularly with the jerseys that are, stitched, like baseball jerseys and stuff like that. Sometimes it's a little harder. Now, what I do, and what I always recommend, is go on JerseyCentral.org. There's a legit check thread. Go in there. You can put pictures of the items. You can put the links to the items. And people are very knowledgeable, and they're very helpful, including a lot of our fellow Jersey heads, members on there too. Very knowledgeable. They know just by looking at the jersey, at the tags and stuff. Yeah, that's good. That's not good. And I've had a lot of good success doing that over the years. But this time it was an auction. It was ending soon. I didn't have enough time to put a link or something up there, and I just took a chance on it. It wasn't expensive at all. I mean, it was like, less than $40. I forget the exact amount, but it was less than 40. So, and I know what you're saying. Well, the deal was too good to be true. Well, I mean, you'd be surprised. I've been very fortunate over the years on eBay at getting legit Mitchell and Ness jerseys at under $50. I've done it, and it can be done. But this time, yeah, the pictures, this particular jersey, it was an orange, early '80s Baltimore Orioles Cal Ripken jersey, and I've seen it on eBay a few times. I've seen it on there. And believe me, I mean, just even I could tell that it was a knockoff. And I compared this auction to some of those, and it definitely looked different. It looked more legit, the pictures of it, and yeah, it came in the mail, and I was all excited, and then yeah. You can tell just by the material and the tags and stuff, and it wasn't. But such is life sometimes, right? But hey, as I said, I don't want to show it on here. I don't want to promote it or something, but it is what it is, and what can you do? So that was a little disappointing. It was, but it is a style Orioles jersey that I've definitely have had interest in for a while. I remember seeing them at the Mitchell and Ness store years ago. Just never really pulled the trigger on it, and I always kind of felt bad about later on, because I do like that style. I like the color, obviously. Everything about it's pretty cool, but yeah. So the wait goes on for that one. But at any rate, enough about that one. I was able to win. Well, yeah, it is kind of winning, but I went to a local flea market. I was able to get a jersey that I've had interest in for a while. It is also a jersey that I'm happy to say I was able to complete a set. This was one of my all-time favorite hockey players, and this was the only jersey left that I didn't own of the jersey styles that I had most interest in getting his jersey of. And I've caught off guard by seeing it at the flea market, so I picked it up, and I'm going to show it to you. So here it is. Let me adjust this. Now, this jersey is pretty. The the neat thing about this this particular jersey, this team did not wear very long. In fact, they only wore it one day a week during their home games. And I'll get more into that a little later. But here it is. This is a vintage line, vintage hockey line, CCM throwback of their own line, the CCM throwback line, which, Mitchell & Ness has their line, and of course CCM has theirs. And I have a few of these vintage line CCM jerseys, and they're very nice. The quality is always good and everything. So, but this one is of the Pittsburgh Penguins, Mario Lemieux, and this was an alternate jersey that the Penguins wore back in the day, and they only wore it, if I remember doing the research a little about this jersey before, in the past, if I remember correctly, they only wore this particular jersey for the home games on Sundays. So that makes any sense. So this was the home Sunday game jersey that the Penguins wore back in the day. And, of course, during Lemieux's time. So this is a Lemieux jersey. And it's got the full penguin in the front. It's got the captaincy double-stitched as well on the front. And it's got the Lemieux 66 on the back. Lemieux single-stitched on the nameplate. And then the 66 is double-stitched on the back. It's got the trim going around on the sleeves. The yellow, yellow, white, and black. And, of course, on the bottom as well, it's got that trim. Very nice jersey. And you'll notice the number 66 is also on the kind of shoulder area, which also makes it a little different than the regular, their normal home game jerseys, which are actually, this one, I have a Lemieux in this too, but I had it, I didn't grab it before making this video, but I do have this in the Lemieux, but this is the black version, normal home jersey that they wore during this time, this, of course, being a Paul Coffey Penguins jersey. But you'll notice the numbers are on the sleeve, and this one on the alternate, it's actually on the more on the shoulder area, or close to the shoulder area, I should say, whereas the other ones are more kind of towards the middle of the sleeve there. So they're a little interesting, little thing that makes this a little different than the normal jersey. And, of course, above all else, the number. The color. The number. The color, which, of course, is that yellow, going all over the front and back. So, very nice jersey. Definitely happy to have it. Completes the Mario Lemieux collection for me. I have now the 5. And I will make a video. I know I've shown the others in other videos, but I will make a video hopefully in the near future, and I will show all the 5 Lemieux jerseys in the collection, because now they're finally all together. And so that's that. And then the other pickups for me, of course, my Phillies won their 5th straight National League East Division title this past Saturday night. And there's the official locker room T-shirt, which they doused one another with champagne on Saturday night. Of course, hopefully they'll have a few other celebrations in the coming weeks. But this, of course, being the division title, you see the 5 in a row with Citizens Bank Park right there, because they will have home field advantage throughout the playoffs, including the World Series, because the National League won the All-Star game. But they may have had it anyhow, because they do have the best record in baseball for a second consecutive season, so that's pretty special. They have a chance to win 100-plus games this year, which I know some people say, well, it doesn't mean anything if you don't win the World Series. Well, that's probably true. But I do remember the days at Old Veterans Stadium watching Scott Rowland and Doug Glanville and Desi Relaford and company. Oh, look at me with the Desi Relaford reference. Look at this. Now you know you're a true fan when you can mention some of those names. But and yeah, they didn't win a whole lot back then. So this is definitely nice to see. From going from those days to a chance to win 100-plus games in a season, are you kidding me? It's pretty special. But, of course, the World Series, of course, in 08, too, as well mixed in. And, of course, making it back there in 09. And if Cole Hamels was pitching like Cole Hamels could, they would have won in 09, too. Believe me. But at any rate, that's in the past. But hopefully the future, the near future, will have me getting a couple other shirts and hats for commemorative moments. And this, of course, not being the locker room hat, but it is a 5 in a row. NL East Division champions. But, any rate, both picked up at Modell's, of course, one of my favorite haunts. And so there you go. So those are the recent pickups. This is also the first video since the Sunday night game. So yes, the Eagles, did lose to the Falcons on Sunday night, but Mike Vick, I will say this: if he didn't get hurt on late in the third quarter, they if he played the rest of the game, I think the Eagles would have won the game. But as it was, they didn't come out on the winning end of that game. But they still definitely, for the most part, I felt played pretty well, particularly on offense. And Ashamoah with that interception. So there you go. But of course, this Sunday they play their home opener against the New York Football Giants. So there you go, Murph. Well, Murph, that's his favorite team. And but I forgot about this, to be honest. But I was watching the latest video by a guy that I subscribe to, and I would recommend anyone else to do so. He's a very passionate Eagles fan. The Mighty E-Rock. Big shout out to Mighty E-Rock out there, holding it down for us Eagles fans. But had mentioned on his latest video that the Giants have not beaten the Eagles since 2008. That's a few years now, and two division rivals going at it. So that's an interesting little tidbit there. And of course, we all know what happened the last time those two teams played one another last season. Sorry, Murph. Yes, Mr. Jackson had a nice little punt return on the Giants to win the game. So it'll be interesting to see how the Giants punt to him this time around. But yeah, it should be an interesting game. I mean, when the Eagles and Giants play each other, it's usually a close game. There's certainly been a lot of close games in recent years, and games that can go either way. It's gone the Eagles' way. Hopefully that continues. Sorry, Murph. Hopefully that continues this weekend. And the Eagles can go to 2-1 in the young season. And by the way, don't think that I haven't been keeping up with my preseason predictions. That's right. Yeah. So it's not going so well for the Rams or Colts, but I see that the Lions are 2-0, and you guys do remember that they were my dark horse pick to make it to the playoffs this year. So you might want to listen to Mighty Fan. They are who I thought they were. But I know it's early and there's a lot of football left to be played, but there you go. And of course, my Eagles still very much in the mix in the NFC East at the 1-1 start, and hopefully after this weekend they can go to 2-1. Hopefully after this weekend I can go to 2-1 in fantasy football. If you guys aren't going to believe this, speaking of Week 1 in this football season, you guys realize this has never happened for me. Now, I lost in Week 1. Now, that's happened before. But what hasn't ever happened for me is, do you realize that my bench, talk about what a deep team I have, my bench outscored my starters that I played in Week 1, scored over 91 points. You're just doomed to lose when your bench scores 91 points because those guys should have been in the starting lineup. Yeah, it was a rough Week 1 for me in my decision making, but I probably should have started Ray Rice, but I figure he usually doesn't do good against the Steelers. I put Peyton Hillis in there. He does nothing against the Bengals. Ray Rice goes off against the Steelers. Yeah. I mean, Stafford, he's done well. He's my backup. I've started Roethlisberger the first 2 weeks. That might change, though. But, yeah, I've had Roethlisberger in there. I've had just, yeah. I mean, I'm very deep at different positions, running back, wide receiver, and just... Steve Smith was a nice move, though. The Panthers, Steve Smith. That was a nice little pickup for Mighty Fan. Yeah, he's been doing okay. And Cam Newton, boys. Yeah, as long as he's throwing him the ball, I think Steve Smith will have a very nice season for the Panthers and for Mighty Fan. But yeah, but it is a deep team. But it's just 91. My bench beat 3 teams that week, including mine. Including my starters. So that was a rough week 1 for me. But I did get a win last week. So I'm 1-1. I'm like the Eagles. I'm 1-1. Hopefully we'll both be 2-1 after this week, and we'll see what it's got. I've done fantasy football for quite a few years. I have 1 championship under my belt. That's it. I've come so close other times. It just hasn't happened. It just 1 year. I'm not even going to get into how I lost 1 year in the championship game. All right, I'll say it. Cleo Lemon to Randy McMichael. You know. I'm winning the whole game. I mean the whole game. And it comes down to Sunday Night Football. Jets at Dolphins. See, I just remember these things, you know? Jets at the Dolphins. All right? The whole game. The Dolphins are doing nothing. The guy has Randy McMichael. It's his only hope the rest of the game. He's doing nothing. The whole game. Joey Harrington throwing the ball. Nothing. Nothing. They take Harrington out of the game late in the 4th quarter, and they put in Cleo Lemon. I'll never forget this. Cleo stinking Lemon comes in. And of course, what's the safety valve? The tight end. So he starts throwing to Randy McMichael. And every time he throws a pass to Randy McMichael, I say, no. No, just throw to someone else. You don't have to throw to McMichael. Throw to someone else. Do me a fit. Keeps throwing it, and the Jets defense can't stop. They're like me playing on Madden, just giving it up to the tight end the whole game. It's just, come on, just defend him. That's all you have to do. That's all he's throwing to, so just triple cover him. Put the whole defense on him. Linebackers, just defensive linemen, just send them all out there. Special teamers, just whatever you have to do. Jet fans from the crowds, it's okay. Just everyone you out there. And, of course, then he scores a late touchdown. I mean, the guy's doing nothing the whole game. Nothing. And then Cleo Lemon comes in and decides to throw him the... So I think I ended up losing by like 2 or 3 points on that touchdown pass. And I just never forgot that. It's burned in the memory. It's like Joe Carter. It's burned in there. It's just... That was a tough one. I mean, okay, the award was like a little bobblehead figure. I mean, it wasn't even anything that substantial. But just, it was there. It was in the grasp. And I let it off the hook. Cleo Lemon to Randy McMichael. Of all the combinations in the world. But that's the beauty of fantasy football. That's why you play. And, so I play the fantasy football. I'm doing fantasy hockey this year. First time in a long time. Last time I did, I won. So I wanted to retire from it, so I went out on top, but then they got me back. They got me back. First year in many years, so I don't know how it's going to go. But, I've done baseball. I'm pretty, I've done baseball for many years, a couple World Series titles, but lost this year. But, lost in the playoffs. But, I've always had a good time with that. And I've done some basketball, but get this, like, basketball, of all the sports, is the only game I ever actually played, and it's the sport I was the worst at fantasy sports. I played that for 2 years, and my teams were always at the bottom of the barrel. Just really... Here I am, Mr. Basketball, and I can't do anything in fantasy basketball. So, But they're fun. I don't know how many other you guys are into fantasy sports, but yeah, it's addictive. It is, particularly the football. Boy, Cleo Lemon and Randy of all them. I mean, you know, give me anything else but Cleo Lemon to Randy McMichael. Even Donovan McNabb to L.J. Smith would have been better than that. As far as other tight end, I mean, Donovan McNabb's definitely a much better quarterback than Cleo Lemon, but you know the analogy I'm trying to make. L.J. Smith, I mean, lose to him, but Randy McMichael and Cleo Lemon. Cleo Lemon, no. Oh, I was angry. I was all comfortable, too. I was just lying there in bed with a smile on my face. And the more it happened, the more I started getting up. And it got to the point where I'm actually physically standing up next to the TV and saying, "Stop that man!" I wanted to put on pads and just get out. I would have tackled him. I would have stopped him. He might be bigger than me. But I would have stopped him. The only tackle I ever would have made in my life, but I would have stopped him. Cleo Lemon. Oh. Of all the obscure names out there, too. Boy. But anyhow, I've gone on enough about that. I can go on some more, but I'm going to stop. Cleo Lemon. Anyhow, if Cleo Lemon's watching this, you know, you just, why? You could have thrown to someone else. Yeah, but at any rate, the love of fantasy sports, I'll tell you that. But this is Mighty Fan after a long rant. I'm sorry about that. It got back in there. It got back in there. But no. Shout out as always to all my fellow Jersey heads. Of course, to all my subscribers. Thank you all so much for subscribing. I hope you continue to hit that subscribe button after my rant about Cleo Lemon to Randy McMichael. Plenty more videos to come. So, yeah, there you go. Family and friends, big shout outs to you guys too. Mighty Fan saying peace. I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye. Cleo Lemon. Ugh.